Hey everyone, welcome back. New week here, it's Tuesday, still working on box side. This is the left one, and normally I start on the right side. That way I don't have to look at it every time in case I make mistakes. Well, I figured doing the left side last, I would have learned from my mistakes on the passenger side. But this left side box side is just kicking my ass. It had some issues that are making it really difficult, and I'll just show you what's happening here. I'll take you out of the tripod for a sec. So one of the issues I had was on the front side, there was a big dent in the missile. There's still one right here that I couldn't get at to fix. I'll leave that in as character. But right here it was folded down probably close to ½ an inch. I had to get in behind the inner box structure to straighten that. And what that did is it caused some issues with matching this shape to the front shape, seeing as there was 4 inches taken out of it. And then for some reason I had a really bad time getting everything lined up. It's taken me probably about 6 hours to get to this point where it's tacked together. I still have the lower parts here to deal with. I got a little bit of trimming to do on the back side. As you can see, the edges don't line up completely. That's because of the taper on the side of the box, and I'll just trim that after I'm done. And then on the front side here as well, I had some issues with lining it up. So this needs some trimming as well. And if you look, you can see there's a little bit of a gap, probably about a 32nd of an inch, and it closes up to nothing and then ends up overlapping. If you don't have a little bit of a gap here, if these panels are dead tight together, when you start doing your tacks, when it shrinks, it pulls them together and it causes a buckle. So what I have to do here is run my zip disc through, create about a 1/16 gap, and then I can start welding this together. So what I did was I just clamped it here at the bottom, and I'm going to run the zip disc through this just to give me some clearance. This one will be the same thing. It's got a good gap there in front of the magnets, but the closer I get to the bottom, the more it opens up. So what I'll do is I'll tack this, making sure to keep everything dead flat between the two pieces. When you're only dealing with 19 gauge that's almost 60 years old, you want to make sure that they're exactly level so that you're not grinding into one or the other. The other thing that happens when this shrinks, it kind of creates a little bit of a divot, which if you were going to body work it is good because then it gives you a spot for your filler. But because I'm not body working this, I want this as flat as possible. So I'll just put you in the tripod here. I'm going to run the zip disc through this seam here and open it up, and then I can show you. Get some safety gear on. Hopefully I don't get sparks all over my camera lens. Okay, so as you can see, just running that zip disc through gave me a really nice gap here for welding. So what I'll do is I'll slowly work my way down, tacking, and this will close up. Okay, I'll bring you back here in a few minutes. Okay guys, so I'm just going to show you the process I use here. Hopefully you can see this. I have it backlit, and this is how I proceed. But if you look at the bottom of I use a heavy paint scraper that's perfectly flat across the bottom. I set it on here, and with it being backlit, you can see that if you see light through one side or the other, that means that side's low. So what I do is I get it so that it's sitting perfectly where I want it, and just gently pry up on one side or the other, get my hand out of the way, until I've got no light showing through on either side, and then I can tack this together. I'll just get it tacked up here and I'll show you. Okay guys, so we have, this side is now tacked all the way down. There's a little bit of a dent here that's caused me a little grief as well. I'll have to planish that out. It took me probably close to 20 minutes to get this all lined up. I had to reshape these edges a little bit because of differences with the 4 inches removed. And then I've got it all tacked. Now the long process on this side is slowly tacking it all together so we don't introduce a bunch of warpage. So now I'm going to go down to the other end here, and I have to do the same thing. I'll start up here and I'll start tacking back till I get to here, and then I can start doing some trimming. Okay, so we're back again. I've been working away on welding, getting everything welded up. It's a real slow process. In the meantime, I've been doing a little bit of grinding, and I just wanted to show you some grinding discs here. If you watch Make It Custom, Carl Fisher, he recommends these discs all the time on his channel. They're 3M Cubitron in a 36 grit. Part number is 33389. They're a really tough disc. I buy the 3-inch like he recommends, and they last forever. I really have a hard time buying them. A box of 15 is $65 Canadian, but I used 1.5 to grind the entire other fender or box side. If I use the cheap ones I buy from Amazon, these 60 grit ones, they last about 5 minutes and you throw them away. So you go through a whole whack of them. What I do with these Cubitron ones is they're quite a bit bigger than a 3-inch mandrel. I'll just screw it on a 3-inch mandrel here. Actually, my other mandrel is smaller than this one, the one that I've been using. This one here. So what I do is when you use these, you're usually grinding on the edge, and the edge gets dull. So all I do is trim it back with a pair of scissors till I get a fresh edge, and then I put it on my mandrel. And once you're done, you can't trim it down anymore on 3-inch. Then I start using it on a 2-inch mandrel. And I can take that down till it's about this big on the 2-inch. And then I have another one of these that's 1 inch, and I can use it on there. So these things last about, I don't know, 100 times longer than a regular cheap Chinese disc. So just a little tidbit of information there. I know it's hard to justify $65 for 15 discs, but boy, when they last that long. Okay, another new day here, guys. We find ourselves back working on the box side still. So I got all the welding done on the seams from Shortening. I got the center brace reinstalled, and now it's time to work on rust repair at the back on this side. This one's got quite a bit more rust than the other side, all through here, and it goes quite a bit deeper down here. I'm a little bit worried about that, so it's going to be a little tougher to do, but we'll get at her. And I got 2 broken bolts here too that I got to try and get out. So anyhow, we'll keep cutting away and blowing sparks and dirt around. Okay everyone, we're back again Saturday morning here. I've got all of the rust cut out. This side was just terrible. Some of the pieces here, they're just eaten right up inside and out. And then we've got this piece on the inside of the where the tailgate closes. So I've got the first piece built here. I got to prime the back of it with weld-through primer yet. And then I've got all the spot weld holes, the bolt holes in it, and I can get that one tacked in. And then I will continue with building the rest of this piece here. And we can wrap this box side up and put her together. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, so we're back. I finally got all the rust repair done. The two new pieces are installed there. I got this rear corner straightened out and the seam welded back up. I got my stiffeners in where the supports go, front and back. And I'm just about to take it outside and do the final grind on it. And then if there's any pinholes, I'll get them welded up. And then we'll start bolting this box back together. And I'm just going to sit it on the back of the 03 so that I can bring the 59 cab and frame in to get started on it. Okay, everyone, we got everything bolted back together here. I put a spreader bar across the top at the back where the tailgate goes just to keep everything square. Once I find a new tailgate and fit it, then I'll be able to do the welds at the bottom of the corner posts that go on the cross. And I just got it flipped over here. I had to assemble it upside down because there's only one of me, and then flip it over. So I didn't film that because I didn't want a disaster to happen that was caught on film, if you hear what I'm saying. So I got the fender braces or the rail braces put in here. Had to drill two new holes for the rear ones. The front ones actually fit right where they should have, which surprises me because I had to change the position on the box side. So now that everything's bolted together here, I'm going to wait till the sun comes up a little bit, and I'm going to bring the 03 around, lift the hoist up, back it under, and see if I can set this on there. I know it's not going to fit properly because it won't be able to go all the way forward by about 3 inches. So, but it'll give us a little bit of a perspective, and I'm a little curious on the track width. So we'll be back shortly. Okay guys, here's a new perspective for you. Box is shortened. I'd call it a mid-length box because it's about 5 inches longer than a short box and 14.5 inches shorter than a long box. Now it's sitting on the frame. I think the height is good. It might have to go down a little bit, but I won't know that until the cab goes on. It has to go ahead about 2 inches to get centered on the wheels. But I just wanted a place to store it off the ground, and that seemed like a good motivating place to do it. So we'll just take a little walk around. Pretty happy with how the box looks and how it turned out. Just take a walk around to the other side. Had to take a sledgehammer to the back of the cab on the 03 to get it to sit forward far enough here, but that worked. The cab is just rusted all to shit. So anyhow guys, that'll do it for this video. That'll wrap up the shortening the box for a while. Next thing, I'll be bringing the cab in on the chassis and starting on lengthening the cab and the rust repair, which is going to be very detailed. I found a lot more rust on the cab that we're going to have to deal with. So anyhow guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.